Welcome back to Excel 2013 spreadsheets. Today is going to be the 15.1 Introduction to Charts. Exercise to use. Okay, we're going to move this to the side, and here's my Excel projects. I'm going to snap this window to the side. Okay, now open Excel student files. Open Unit D. Open Unit D, and then open EXD1. Okay, so here's Unit D. Double click to open that folder, and then we're going to be looking for EXD1. Double click to save, to open. So here's my spreadsheet. Now we're going to be using the save as command to save this as quarterly tour revenue. Okay, so back to file, save as, under computer, under Excel, the name quarterly tour revenue charts, and then hit enter or click on save. Now we look into the title bar and there's quarterly tour revenue chart. Okay, great. So what are we going to be working on here? Okay, we're going to create a chart to visually display the data. There's going to be a lot of times here. You guys can see this little table. There's going to be spreadsheet. Okay, there's going to be occasions that it's going to be easier to read the data when we display the data in a visual way. Okay, so Excel will give us the opportunity to use charts to display the data. A lot of people will see the data better by looking into it visually. Okay, so once we create the chart, once we create the chart, we are gonna move and resize the chart. Then we are gonna change the chart design, change the chart layout. We are gonna format the chart, annotate and draw a chart into the chart. Okay, so we are gonna annotate and draw. Let's see. Mm, the chart. Okay, and we're also gonna be creating a pie chart. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. And here we are. Okay, so this is gonna be a similar table that you're gonna be using in another project. Okay, so this is a quarterly total revenue for specialty travel. Okay, so they have quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. We already have the formulas with totals. Okay, here's the label. Okay, so it looks like this company has offices in different countries. We already have the total income per quarter as well. Okay, now we want to display this information by using a chart. Okay, now the first thing that we need to do, okay, when we create a chart is that we need to select the data that we want to use. Okay, now in this case I'm gonna left click into A4, hold down the left button, bring it into E4 and then down to E12. Once I have my selection, what I'm gonna be doing from here, I'm gonna be creating my chart. Now anytime that you guys are creating a chart, you guys are not gonna be including totals. Okay, we're gonna see one sample right now. Okay, we don't include the totals because the totals are gonna change our chart completely. Why? Because the totals are gonna have the bigger number, so the most of the data is gonna be displayed on the totals. But we wanna have a visualization of all the different contents, all the data that we have here. Okay, so just keep on that in mind when you guys create a chart. Normally we don't include the total. We could include it, but normally it's not recommended to include the total. Now that we have the data selected, okay, we need to create the chart. Now if we go to the insert tab, right here you guys are gonna see the charts group. Okay, now this is a new tool right here that we have the recommended charts, which is very useful. Okay, now if we click into that, see, we're gonna have a live preview of the different charts. See that Excel is recommending for us. And the very first one, it looks just great. Now if we click into the second one, There's the chart. See, here's another sample. Okay, and more examples. Okay, now we can also scroll down and see the different type of charts that are available. Okay, and of course, the very first one is just gonna work perfect. So we click into that. Okay, besides that, we could go to all charts, and from here we could start looking into different options. Anything that we select, see, is gonna be displayed here. When you guys bring your pointer, Excel is gonna make that little window bigger so that we could see how the chart is gonna look. Okay, so these are live previews. Okay, so I mean there's quite a different options. Okay, there's lines, there's a pie. Now normally the pie, see, the pie is not gonna work when we have more than one quarter in this case, because as you guys can see, it's displaying only quarter one. We're missing the information for quarter two, three, and four. Okay, so just be careful on what you guys are gonna be using. Okay, so back to columns. That's the most common and popular type of chart that we use on Excel. Okay, now we have this option right here, or we have this other right here. Okay, so this one looks like it's giving me stronger colors. Okay, so I'm just gonna click into it, and I'm gonna click on OK. Now what happened? Here's my chart. Okay, now anytime that we have a chart, okay, most of the times it's just gonna be, see, a lot of times it's gonna be right into the data, or sometimes it's gonna be too close into the data, like in this case. Okay, now once we have the charts inserted, see, the chart is gonna be selected. You guys are gonna see these little dots around the chart area. Okay, as long as the chart is still selected, see, it's also gonna be highlighting the cells that are being used to create this particular chart. Okay, even though that we select that our selection was started on A4, see, A4 is not being included because that's empty. Okay, now what are we gonna do? One more thing, when the chart is selected, look into the top of your Excel spreadsheet. See, we have the chart tools, design. Now the whole ribbon is just to work with this particular chart. Okay, we have format. Under format there, see, the whole ribbon is just to work specifically directly to with this particular chart. Okay, right here, right next to the chart, see, we have all other elements. Okay, to include, we have the chart styles, and we also have the live preview. Okay, and besides that, see, we also have the filter. Maybe we want to filter the data, maybe we don't want to display Australia, maybe we don't want to display Britain. Okay, we're gonna get into each of these icons. Okay, now here's my chart. Now what's gonna be the next step? Anytime that you guys want to move the chart, okay, um, basically there's two ways that we could do that. Okay, now if you guys are gonna be using the pointer, when I bring the pointer into the chart, see, I have this four-way arrow. Okay, now anytime that I want to drag and move the chart into a different location, be careful that you guys don't click, see, too close, because if I click right here close to the columns, now the chart is not being selected. What is being selected is the plot area. Okay, now if I bring it over here and I click into those numbers, see, now I have the vertical value axis selected, and if I drag this, see, I'm just gonna be moving, more likely I'm just gonna be moving, see, the vertical axis. Okay, so anytime that you guys want to move a chart, just try to do that from one of the corners. Okay, from one of the corners, left click, hold it and drag it. Another way is if you guys go back to home, you guys could use CAD, select the new location, A15, and then click on paste. Now my chart is gonna be below. Okay, so we could drag it, but just like I said, be careful Okay, when you guys drag the chart. Okay, now, so we clear the chart. Okay, we move and resize the chart. Okay, you guys could resize it from the corners. We have this little dots that we could resize the pie. Okay, one more thing, if you guys click into the chart tools format, right here we also have an option C to resize the height or the width of this particular chart. Okay, so you guys could use these corners and go directly up here into the size under format chart tools and resize it from there. Okay, now that we have this, see, remember that we have the design. If you guys come back to design, see there's different designs here. Okay, chart styles. Of course, this one is not gonna work because all the numbers are just too right over right onto the others. Okay, so there's some, I mean, quite neat. Okay, different options here. And right now, it's gonna stay with. Okay, that's not gonna work. Now, how can I go back? I'm gonna display the charts, and I'm gonna be using this one. Okay, now remember, if you guys get stuck on something, you have to undo, 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 and there we are. Okay, if you guys want to use different colors, just click into that colors, and you guys will have the live preview. You have multicolors, etc., etc. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use a different color here. Okay, now besides that, we have the quick layout. What's the quick layout is gonna do? Okay, see, again, it's gonna very similar to the styles. It's gonna give us different options. It's gonna be adding extra information. Okay, but in this case, we don't need it. See, layout 7, it removes the title bar. I mean the chart title. See, layout, deciding other items, etc., etc. Okay, so so that's a quick layout. Okay, add a chart element. We could add the axis horizontally, and you guys are gonna see that right away being displayed. Okay, axis titles, chart titles, etc., etc. Okay, now that's the chart elements, the quick layout, the colors, we have the styles. Okay, now from here we have the switch rows and columns. Okay, anytime that you guys create a chart, I always recommend that you guys check the switch rows and columns. One click and it's going to change your chart. See, instead of having quarter 1 through 4, now we have the countries and then the quarters. Okay, if we want to change the chart, we could definitely do that by going into this little icon. See, and from here we could start surfing and change the chart. Okay, now besides that we have the format. Okay, now remember the chart still selected, so anything that we apply here is gonna be directly into the chart. We could use a fill colors, etc., etc. Okay, maybe we wanna use an outline. Okay, some effects, word styles, etc. Okay. Um, Now normally in the charts we're not gonna be doing a lot of format. Okay, maybe just a couple of clicks. Remember, the most important thing is that we wanna display the information here. Okay, now here's a little box. This is a text box. Into the charts, when you guys click into it, it's gonna be selected. This little dot is indicating that it's been selected. One more click inside, the insertion point is just gonna be blinking inside the little text box. Okay, now I wanna delete the contents by using backspace and using delete. Okay, and then I'm gonna type in, see what I need. I'm gonna give them a name to this chart, quarterly tour revenue. Okay, if you guys click into the boundaries, see that into the boundaries of the text box, that's gonna become solid. Once it becomes solid, anything inside, we could just go ahead and format. Okay, anything inside. If I go back to home, from here I'm gonna change the size. Okay, maybe apply bold, maybe a different color, and there we go. Okay, so we create a chart, we move and resize the charts, we change the chart design, we change the chart layout, and we are formatting the chart. Okay, now let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. There you go. Okay, now let's say that we want to draw something here. Okay, now every time that you guys click into another cell, the chart is not being selected anymore. Okay, so if the chart is not selected, see, we don't have the chart tools anymore. Just click, close to one of the corners, and there's a chart tools, design and format. Now we want to go back to format, because right here, I'm gonna be using, see, those shapes. And basically, what I'm gonna do when I click into it, I'm gonna be using another text box. Okay, so I'm gonna click into that. Okay, it's just one click. Now, when you point it into the chart, you guys are gonna see this down arrow. Okay, so just left click, hold it, and drag it over to create the text box. And there is my text box, and insertion point is just blinking. Okay, now let's say that we wanna add something here. Rate in improvement. That we wanna add rate improvement. Okay, now the wrap text, see, it's taking action, so it moves my content to the line below. Why? Because the text box is not big enough. Okay, these text boxes we could always resize them, we could shrink them, and pretty much do anything we want with this. Okay, so let's say that we want to have a small annotation. Okay, so there's my text. Okay, and let's say that let me see that on the quarter one for USA, see, which is the blue column. Okay, I mean that was let's see, USA quarter one, and the value 71,950 and 61 cents. Okay, when I bring my pointer over here to this other, see, that's quarter three. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna draw a little arrow here that, just to point into that column. Okay, because there was a great improvement into this particular quarter for the USA office. Okay, now anytime that we type something, we can always come back, click, and there's my text box, there's my insertion point. Okay, now let's say that we want to change this. I'm just gonna delete the improvement. Okay, and I'm just gonna say great job. Okay, now I could resize again my text box. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and back to insert, because right here we have the shapes, and here's a small error. Just gonna click into the arrow. Now this time, anytime that you guys use those shapes, it's gonna give us a different icon pointer. Okay, so now I have a little plus sign. So I'm just gonna bring my pointer wherever I start drawing my arrow. Left click, hold it. I'm gonna hold it, and then I'm gonna drag my mouse to select in, just to make the annotation that this small note is referring to the particular series. Okay, now that I make my annotation, okay, I'm just gonna click outside, and there it is. Okay, my annotation. Okay, so this is just introduction. Okay, so there is, okay, there's my first table. Now let's go ahead and create a second one. Okay, now on the second one, let's say that we're only gonna be creating, okay, one. Okay, in this case I'm gonna be using the pie. Okay, now in this case, see, the columns is a great option when we have multiple data, multiple quarters. Okay, but when you guys use the pie, normally the pie will be able to give you only information for one series. Like in this case will be quarter one. Okay, so I'm gonna be selecting A4 through B1. Okay, and then same process, insert. This time we're gonna do that differently. Instead of going to, see, recommended, right here we have a list of different Okay, charts. So there's a pie, line chart, there's the pie. I'm gonna click into the pie, and from here I'm gonna say, okay, I wanna use the 3D. As you guys can see, we have a live preview. One click, and there's my second pie. Like I said before, see, it's only gonna give me one series. Okay, now from here I'm gonna do the same thing. I need to move this down here. So if I come back to home, I'm gonna use my cut command. I'm gonna click down here, and then I'm gonna be using my paste command. If I scroll down, there's my chart, pie chart. Okay, and the same thing is gonna happen here. When we click into the chart, see, we could resize it from the corners, from the side. When we have this two-way arrow, or we could go to format, and right here, see, we're gonna see the size, okay, the height, and then the width, etc., etc. Okay, um, there's my title. Now I'm gonna come back to design, and under the chart style, see, there we have different options. Okay, and there's the live preview. So I'm just gonna be scrolling through and see which of this is gonna work for me. Okay, so definitely this one's gonna work. Style 5. And now let's say that we wanna have, see, also the data. Okay, if you guys go in there, I'm sorry, design, and let me see where that option is. Okay, it's gonna be under the quick layout. No, it's gonna be add elements. Okay, under the add chart elements, right here we have the data labels. So I'm gonna be selecting this option, best fit outside. Okay, but there you go. So there's my, see the amounts for each of these pie. When I click outside, there's my pie, and here's my other column pie. Okay, make sure that you guys click on save, and that is the introduction to charts. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and into the next video tutorial. Bye bye.